Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com with an update for our 3.5.3. We've got a pleasant surprise in addition to supporting Gutenberg first 100%. So you can build things for any page builder. We've got Gutenberg patterns. We've also now added a full library of native Gutenberg blocks. So simply type in LaunchFlows and you'll get a library that at the moment I'm leaving with two colors rather than doing individual icons for each component. It just feels so busy. I don't know what those icons mean. So it's just blocks, right? Think of like the brand Lego. You got the pink ones for any checkout page, whether it be a regular checkout page or post or a product specific checkout page or post. And then you've got purple, which is for the product specific components. Now this is a double, triple, quadruple bonus for this release of LaunchFlows because at the moment, WooCommerce does not normally support customizing the single product page with Gutenberg. When you install LaunchFlows, it does. Now, there's only one product on the market that I've seen allowing you to modify the layout of the single product page in really beautiful ways. And that product is awesome, but it costs between $50 and about $150 a year just for that capability. I'm throwing that into LaunchFlows for free. So you'll be able to make any kind of single product page with Gutenberg, regardless of whether it's used for checkout purposes. So a win for you guys. Here's how this works. If I take any of the items that I want to add in, I just simply choose them and boom, they're in place. This works equally well if I'm also going ahead and using things like a column. So for example, if I do a two-column layout and I spell well, column, I can just simply add in a two-column layout. And like any other Gutenberg block, I can just drag my LaunchFlows components in place. Couldn't be any easier, right? So if I want to add in, I got a bump and I put in billing, I can now design my layout super fast and I can save this as a pattern or I can save this as a group of components. What I want to show you too is the ability to extend the styling. But first, let me show you. When you put this particular block in that has attributes, you can use or not use any of the attributes. So for example, I can edit this and I can put in the ID simply of a valid product. And when I do and I update it, this being a checkout page, it will show that particular order bump in the left-hand column of my new layout. Now, if I want to style it, instead of adding extra code and bloat to LaunchFlows by building that feature in, we've partnered up with the features of Extendify and the Editor Plus plugin, which are both free in the repository and do an amazing job. So all you need to do is choose any LaunchFlows block, click on it, choose Group. And by doing so, you activate the styling features that are already so ridiculously powerful. For example, if I want to give this that traditional order bump look, I'll put 5 and I'll give it a nice red. Okay, and now when I update it, I may want to put some padding in there. It looks like what you'd normally see from an order bump, right? Now, I can also do the same thing with regard to hiding stuff. Do you notice on a checkout how you'll have that additional information field and it's kind of annoying? You can remove it as I've shown you by using the checkout field editor or manager plugins for WooCommerce, which are both free, but here's a faster way. All you need to do is just add somewhere in your layout the block for additional. So we type in additional, and again, spelling counts. LaunchFlows additional. I make it into a group so that I can apply the extra features of Editor Plus. Then I simply go down here to extras and I choose display none. What's nice is that I can still see it in my layout that it's grayed out, but now when I refresh the page, voila, it's gone from the layout. So super fast, super easy, really powerful. And the thing about my philosophy here is that with LaunchFlows, I don't believe that any plugin author should be competing for features that overlap. In this case, since there's already the capability of Editor Plus, and there will also be very likely, you'll see LaunchFlows ready to go layouts inside of Extendify's library, we are collaborating in a way that I think is the future of WordPress. In other words, we don't need 17 people trying to compete for the same features in their own plugins when the other ones can do it better. And the nice thing here is these are all free add-ons that extend LaunchFlows. Now, here's the other benefit. Because this is happening in the content area, This works equally well with whatever theme you're using. So for example, it may change the default colors, but right now I'm using Astra. I can switch to any theme I want, and because this is the content area, it will work just fine. So here I'll switch to Cadence. Now this may change some of the default look and feel, but the actual output will still be the same. Here, for example, I see that Cadence has no container, and if I want, I can either use the layout of the Cadence page, or I can even go inside of LaunchFlows and say, well, with my particular theme, I want to set a maximum container width of something like 80%. Again, it's up to you, but we've built in the capability to make this universal for whatever you're using. Now I get the look and feel I want of the theme, above and below and around, and even the font sizes, but I get the LaunchFlows layout capability. Finally, I'm not going to show it in this video, but I want to emphasize that with the ability to also mix and match on a product page, you can create either single product custom layouts with all the background and other nice template stuff from whatever design library you're using, like Cadence or Editor Plus. You can mix and match and save it like this, and even put the pieces in place. Like, so for example, if I wanted to put the bump widget into here, I'll just grab the group and I just plop it wherever I want it. But the nice thing is you get the ability to either make a regular checkout page or post, a product checkout page or post, or you'll be able to make a product sales page only, which means that in your normal steps of, let's say, doing a pre-checkout offer or a post-checkout upsell, you can just use the regular product page, including all the things like the drop-down selectors, the custom selectors when you have variable products. So super powerful way to standardize, to kind of bring together all these pieces. Now, sometimes I'm impressed even when I see this myself, because I didn't plan this and all I did was drop this in place. But look at how powerful and simple it is. I have zero design capability. And all I would need to do here would be, if I wanted maybe to make the background of that white, I select the group item and then I'll just change the background from transparent to white so that it fills it in. And even for somebody like me that has zero design talent, that's ridiculous. And now I can go ahead and even save this whole particular setup here. So I like to use the navigator. But you see, we have the row layout, we have the section. I would probably choose this entire row, and then I can go ahead and either add to my reusable blocks. I can group this all together, so in the future, it doesn't separate. And then I can do things like export it or copy it. Now, this part really blows my mind. If I click copy of this block, you can't do this even in some of the page builders. And I'm sorry, I'm diverging here, but let's say I go ahead and make a new page. So I say add new page. All I have to do is just click paste and it's done. Now that's ridiculously awesome, because inside of my one WordPress website, I can just take the content of a whole page and like move it over to another page and I'm good to go. And in this case, I'll make it into, again, a LaunchFlows canvas maybe. So it has, the actual ability to display it. And now I preview it. So when people ask me, why am I so like gung-ho on moving to Gutenberg first? It's because even though I love Elementor and other page builders, this is native WordPress. This is fast. This is amazing. This is still with a billion problems to solve, but even with the billion problems to solve, this is where I want to get married and stay married, because everything else is on top of this. Now, don't get me wrong also. If you need some really dynamic, powerful features, Elementor in particular has those in large quantities. But for 95% of the stuff with sales funnels and layouts, this is ridiculous. And now I can give this to a client, but I can also save it and reuse it and sell it, and I can publish it and I can share it. And it's something that I can like quite literally put into another library where other people can use. Like, for example, imagine this little doodad right here that now comes inside of Extendify, right? You could just go, oh, I want the LaunchFlows order bump header or whatever it is. Okay, so this is probably one of the most exciting previews. And in fact, I'm not sure if now that I'm thinking about it out loud, Maybe I might bump LaunchFlows from 3.5.3 up to a 4 because I think adding Gutenberg might qualify as moving this into another level, but we'll see. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to work on cleaning up a few other things before the release, but this is going to be a great one. I hope you have an awesome day.